Good afternoon, Dr. Steven and classmates. This is Fiorella Prato, and today I'm going to talk about the case study, Contract and Project Management in BIP. So let's start with an introduction about the case. So the case study is about Department of Buildings and People, DVP, which aims to provide equitable access to opportunities and support for communities, managing properties through its Property Development Division. But to improve the property management, DVP invested in a new asset management application, which is called BIP. However, the project faced numerous challenges. The application underwent through testing, but usability issues emerged during user acceptance testings. And despite meeting the agreed requirements, these concerns were dismissed and less critical defects were postponed for future updates. So 6 months after the implementation, the C and PME model was not in use, users preferring all approval workflows handled by executive assistants and develop critical functional issues. So this case study explores the issues impacting the project success and propose change to enhance the delivery and stakeholder acceptance. Now, let's talk about the issues and the proposed changes. So the first issue is the budget and schedule overrun. The project is significantly over budget and behind schedule, impacting financial resources and stakeholder confidence. The proposed change is to conduct a thorough review of project finances and timeline with stakeholders to assess adjustments. Also to implement stricter budget controls and revise project timelines realistically. The next issue is the change management and stakeholder engagement. Insufficient user involvement during testing and training led to negative feedback and resistance, highlighting inadequate change management. Additionally, security policy breaches, such as the unauthorized password sharing, exacerbate the issue. The proposed change is to develop customized training programs tailored to user needs and workflows, supported by a robust change management strategies to foster acceptance and compliance with new systems. The next issue is the government and leadership changes. So changes in government and leadership for ministers in succession during the project life cycle have disrupted the project continuity, leading to shifting priorities and delayed decision-making. The proposed change is to align the project goals closely with current departmental priorities and leadership directive to mitigate the impact of leadership changes, ensuring sustained commitment and strategic alignment. The next issue is the requirements management and documentation. The delayed and misaligned requirements for the C&PM module, leading to discrepancies and dissatisfaction with delivered functionalities. The proposed change is to enhance the requirements gathering by involving the stakeholders early, refining requirements iteratively, and validate them to ensure alignment with user needs, thereby reducing ambiguity and minimizing the scope creep. These 4 changes reflect aspects of the change management focus on broader strategies to prepare stakeholders for change, ensuring adoption and minimizing resistance through effective communication, training, and stakeholder engagement. So these next changes, these 2, reflect aspects of the Integrated Change Control, ICC, where the focus is on managing changes within the project scope, schedule, and resources to ensure alignment with project goals. So the first one is testing and acceptance criteria. So the user acceptance testings identify usability issues and functional defects that were not adequately addressed, impacting the system adoption. So the proposed change is to introduce a comprehensive user acceptance testing earlier in the development cycle to promptly address usability issues and functional defects. Also, establish a structured feedback loop to facilitate ongoing improvements based on user input and evolving business needs. The next issue is the functional deficiencies in the application. So, critical functionality gaps hindering operational effectiveness and user satisfaction. The proposed change is to prioritize resolving critical functionality issues post-implementation, allocate resources to address gaps promptly, and maintain a feedback loop with end users. Now, let's evaluate impact on the processes and lifecycle. Implementing this recommended change could have significant impacts on the project processes and the development lifecycle. So, for example, enhanced change control and scope management could have a positive impact which reduces scope creep and enhances the project transparency and accountability, but also could have a negative impact, which is potential administrative procedures could delay decision making. These impacts could be made in the planning and execution stage of the project lifecycle. The next change is a stakeholder engagement. The positive impact is increases acceptance, but the negative impact requires dedicated resources and effort. The next one is aligned governance and leadership strategy. The positive impact is enhances stability, and the negative impact depends on consistent leadership and policy. The next change is simplified requirements management. The positive impact reduces ambiguity and ensure alignment with user needs, and the negative impact requires time and resources for gathering. The next change is reduced testing and quality assurance. The positive impact is enhanced reliability and satisfaction and identifies the defects early. But the negative impact is the increase of investment in resources and time. And lastly, tailor user training. The positive impact is smooth adoption and reduces resistance, and the negative impact is required resources for training development. So the success of this change hinges on effective project management, resource allocation, and stakeholder collaboration. Mitigating potential negative involves careful planning, robust change management, and ongoing monitoring to ensure that the project remains on track and delivers value throughout its life cycle. Now, after analyzing the case study, these are the 3 key changes, and Kotter's change model can effectively support the integrated change control by providing a structured approach to aligning project goals with stakeholder priorities, fostering collaboration, building a culture of continuous improvement to adapt to evolving project needs and maintain alignment with the strategic objectives. So the first key change is enhanced change control and scope management. Using the Kotter's model, the first step is create a sense of urgency. So communicate the need for change control to prevent scope creep and delays, highlighting risk without it. The step 2 is form a coalition. Gather key stakeholders, project managers, business analysts, and senior leadership to lead change control efforts. Step 3, develop a vision. Develop standardized change control with strategies for stakeholder engagement, impact assessments, and a change control board. Now, step 4, communicate vision. Regularly communicate the importance and benefits of standardized change control. Step 5, empower action. Train all team members on new processes, ensuring everyone understands how to submit, evaluate, approve, and communicate the changes. Step 6, generate short-term wins. Quickly implement initial changes to demonstrate effectiveness. Step 7, consolidate gains, refine and expand processes based on feedback. And finally, step 8, create change, integrate change control into project management and provide ongoing team training.